A third model has joined the Volkswagen Amarok V6 range, with the new Sportline variant dropping the price of entry for the bigger engine to $55,490 before on-road costs. Before now, hopping into an Amarok V6 would see you start at $59,990 before on-roads for the Highline, with the top-shelf Ultimate way out at $67,990, again before costs. Launching this Sportline, a badge curiously borrowed from the Volkswagen brand stablemate Skoda, where it represents a top-shelf offering, gives the TDI 550 V6 line a new entry point below big-end rivals like the 147 kW per 470 Nm Ranger XLT and 130 kW per 450 Nm Hilux SR5. For equivalent models in those ranges, with tubs on the back end and automatic transmission, you'll start at $55,690 and $57,390 respectively. The Amarok V6 Sportline is powered by Volkswagen's 3.0-liter turbo diesel 6, producing the same 165 kilowatts, 180 kilowatts on overboost, and 550 Nm of torque that it offers in the Highline and Ultimate. An 8-speed auto is again the only option, although Volkswagen has confirmed it will add a 6-speed manual Sportline to the local range next year. Permanent all-wheel drive is also standard. Volkswagen claims combined fuel consumption figures of 9.0 L/100 km, and a 0 to 100 km per hour time of 7.9 seconds. Standard kit with the Sportline includes 4-wheel disc brakes, 18-inch Minas alloy wheels, a mechanical diff lock, front and rear parking sensors, a rear-view camera, dual-zone climate control, a 6.3-inch display with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, 4 12V USB ports, and tinted rear windows. Volkswagen also notes that feedback from buyers has moved the company to stop including an AdBlue system with the Amarok, although all variants, 4-cylinder and V6, maintain compliance with Euro 5 emissions regulations. The Amarok remains the only vehicle in its segment to go without rear curtain airbags, an omission the company has promised to rectify with the next generation, but the Ute has won fans in the trade by being the only top Ute that can take a full-size Australian pallet. The Mercedes-Benz X-Class will break the Amarok streak, however, offering room enough in its quad and tub for an Aussie pallet. For the last 5 years or so, advanced car technology like autonomous emergency braking and lane departure warnings has appeared on premium, executive saloons such as the BMW 7 Series and the Mercedes S-Class. But in 2017 that technology has begun to trickle down into, sorry Nissan, less exciting vehicles like the new Nissan Micra and Ford Fiesta. And that's very significant. The latest Nissan Micra might not look sophisticated, but because car tech has moved in leaps and bounds over the last few years, it comes with a range of in-car tech and autonomous features that would beat flagship saloon of just 3 or 4 years ago. To find out just how advanced the learners and first car favorite is nowadays, I took the new 2017 Nissan Micra for a drive in Dubrovnik, Croatia. Since its release in 1982, Nissan has sold 3 million of its Micras in Europe, with 1.1 million of those compacts coming right here, to the UK. That's just under half of the Micras sold in Europe, proof enough the compact car is hugely important for Nissan. The Micra is Nissan's bread and butter, and its low price point and high popularity a benchmark of sorts for car tech today. Unlike the S-Class of the 7 Series, you'll see the new Micra pretty much everywhere, so the technology it brings to the market is very significant. To find out just how advanced the learners and first car is, I took the new 2017 Nissan Micra for a drive in Dubrovnik, Croatia. When Nissan designed the new Micra, it focused on 3 key areas to differentiate it from the competition: expressive design, uplifting interior and confident driving. I'll start with the first of these, the car's exterior. Before you look at the inside of the car, it's clear the 2017 Micra represents a huge improvement over its predecessor. Where the previous model looked like a surprised insect, this year's version is a far sleeker, more stylish affair. The front of the 2017 Micra features Nissan's new V-Motion grille, and it sets up a car with more aggressive lines than last time. Nissan says there are 125 possible combinations of colors and decals too, so it's possible to make each car even more eye-catching. The 2017 Micra is lower in water than the previous model, and it's also moved from a C-segment car to a B-segment one, so it's up against cars such as the Volkswagen Polo, Vauxhall Corsa and Renault Clio. That increased size does two things. It makes the car squatter, improving its handling, something I'll touch on later, but it also gives the Micra a roomier interior. In fact, the interior of the new 2017 Nissan Micra brings some of the biggest changes between this year's model and the last. The last Nissan Micra was released 6 years ago, and the new interior reflects that gap in time. Although you can choose various different colors and trims, the Micra 7-inch touchscreen is an ever-present feature across the range. Just like the unit you'd find in the Nissan Leaf or even the Nissan GT-R, the Micra offers plain but intuitive menus, and couples it with a clear, uncluttered user interface. That meant navigating through the 2017 Micra's features was straightforward and hassle-free. Much of the improvement in the interior comes from the 2017 Micra's newfound audio prowess, and especially from new headrest-mounted speaker system from Bose. After pairing my phone, which is relatively easy, I had a go of the 500-pound speaker system, and it was actually less gimmicky than you might expect. The idea is simple. In addition to 4 traditional speakers, cars with the Bose sound system come with 2 additional speakers, with one mounted on either side of the driver's headrest. Nissan and Bose say they can give your music a more immersive sound, and the effect is actually rather impressive. When listening to my own music, or Bose's playlist of jazz and pop, I could hear the difference when the system was on or off. With the volume hiked right up, backing vocals feel like they're behind you, and the overall soundscape really does take on a palpable, 3D feel. I also sat in the passenger seat and toggled it on and off, and found that having the system on didn't result in poorer sound for the car's other occupants. Even without the Bose system enabled, though, the Micra sounds great. 2 tweeters mounted on the upper dash look after the high end, while a pair of door-mounted speakers takes care of everything else. Drums are punchy and voices are relatively clear, although they're nothing like the classy highs and invigorating mid-range of something such as the B&O-equipped Audi Q5 for instance. And, while it's not too obvious most of the time, the Micra is often left short when it comes to more bass-heavy tracks. You can either listen to the car's built-in DAB radio, CD player or USB port, or you can pair your phone via Bluetooth. Apple CarPlay is available on the mid-range Ascenta trim Micra, but go any higher to the N-Connect or Technet upgrade, and you'll end up with a Nissan Connect system, which comes complete with the company's own live traffic apps and services. Weirdly, Nissan Connect doesn't support Apple CarPlay, so you lose out if you opt for a higher-end Micra. What's more, none of the new Micra models currently support Android Auto. When I asked Nissan about this, I was first told that it may be added to 2017 cars as a software update, but it then became evident that won't be possible. It seems as though the current chipset in the 2017 Micra's head unit isn't compatible with Android Auto, so we'll only see Google's mobile OS appear in a mid-cycle model refresh, possible 3 or so years down the line. It's an odd omission, particularly when the new Micra needs to appeal to young, connected buyers. Having Apple CarPlay is great, but it feels like only half the package. Being in Dubrovnik meant we weren't able to test our usual routes out on the Micra's sat-nav system, but the 2017 Micra performed well with the pre-planned test route. Our route was displayed clearly on the car's main touchscreen, and when combined with the auto zoom function and prompt, clearly audible directions, getting from A to B was a doddle. Nissan says the 2017 Micra has one of the best screen-to-road times in its class, which basically means it's very easy to look down at the dashboard-mounted touchscreen and back up at the road. Although this sounds like a stretch, it was actually noticeable. And because it was so easy to switch focus between the road and map, I didn't miss a virtual cockpit-style setup as much as I'd expected to. The 2017 Micra doesn't come with anything advanced as Audi's virtual cockpit digital dash, but it does include a larger-than-average 5-in advanced driver assist display, which sits between the rev counter and speedometer. This shows everything from turn-by-turn directions to caller ID, track ID and safety features status. Nissan calls the third key philosophy for its new hatchback Catch Me If You Can, or the only slightly less cringeworthy confident drive. Whatever Nissan is calling it, this new philosophy gives the 2017 Micra new features that help the driving experience along and improve driving safety. As I've already mentioned, the 2017 Micra is wider and lower than before, and that already gives it a handling edge over its predecessor, but there's tech on board that makes driving the Nissan even better. Intelligent Ride Control uses the engine and brakes to reduce pitching over bumps, while Intelligent Trace Control means the Micra is more stable in corners. The latter system works by applying the brakes to the inside wheel when cornering, helping the car to turn. I tested this system by carrying more speed into tight bends than I would otherwise, and the Micra was stable without a hint of understeer. Nissan is offering the new 2017 Micra in 3 downsized engines, and having tried one of the petrol engines in the 1.5-liter diesel variant, I found driving the new hatchback a surprisingly pleasant experience. As you'd expect, the Micra wasn't as exhilarating as driving something like a Nissan GT-R, but pushing with the Micra was certainly fun, from the involving gear changes to the confident cornering feel. The Micra also includes a good dollop of driving assistance tech, and although we've seen similar features in other cars recently, the inclusion of so much here is a statement of intent. In addition to lane departure warning and correction, all models of the 2017 Micra include autonomous emergency braking, AEB, that detects pedestrians and cars, a Nissan first. If you buy the £550 Vision Plus pack, you get traffic sign recognition and the intelligent around view monitor to give you 360-degree views around the car while you're parking. You'll also get a radar-powered blind spot warning sensor too, so you'll know if you're about to pull out on someone. But you won't find semi-autonomous driving aids on the new 2017 Micra. Instead, Nissan says its driverless ProPilot tech is coming to the new Nissan Leaf and the Qashqai first, and will arrive on the Micra in a later mid-cycle refresh. The Nissan Micra starts at £11,995 with the price steadily increasing depending on the trim you opt for. Vizia Plus models start at around £13,795, while the Ascenta trim models cost around £15,000. Finally, the top-of-the-range Tecna Micra starts at £17,295. Nissan is also pioneering a new usership service in Paris with the new Nissan Micra, and if it works, it could well be brought over to the UK. The main idea is simple. 2 to 5 people share a Micra for a year in 15,000 kilometers, with each member of the scheme paying an equal amount towards cost and ownership. Nissan says groups of friends can join and share the same car, for example a group of housemates, but if you're on your own, the app will help find suitable car share partners for you. As for the process of sharing the car, Nissan's intelligent Get and Go app allows each owner to block out specific times, so there are no clashes or arguments. The new 2017 Nissan Micra represents a huge improvement on the previous model, and that can only be a good thing. It looks more attractive, drives better, and it also benefits from several years' worth of technological progression. But the Micra adds more than that. We'd expect a car as basic as the Micra to have basic audio and safety features, but the 2017 Micra throws in much more than I'd expected. Whether it's the pedestrian-friendly AEB or the handy lane departure feature, It's clear the Micra is in the vanguard of Nissan's drive to dominate the clever, compact car scene. It has 125 exterior color combinations for younger, more adventurous drivers, but older buyers will also appreciate many of the car's safety and semi-autonomous features. Nissan wants to top the B segment with the Micra, and by catering for two key demographics, it has every chance.